Now today I'm sitting with Karen Atkinson, who's a team leader here in Scarborough Library. She's also the Festival Director of the Scarborough Literature Festival. Now, would you like to tell us a little bit more about what happens here at the Scarborough Literature Festival?
Yes, this is the festival's 7th year, and we've got 4 very intense days of events that happen not only in the concert hall, which seats 220 people, but also downstairs. We've got storytelling events, we've got fringe events, theatre and poetry, and then we've got sort of events for all ages and all interests. That's one of the things that we try and achieve with the festival, is to be able to reach as many people as possible and make it very affordable for people as well. Obviously, you know, in these economic times, people want really good quality entertainment, but at a price that they can afford. So we try and do that and try and appeal to not only a Scarborough audience, the people, you know, support the library service day in, day out, but also attract visitors to the area, just to try and sort of, you know, boost local economy as well.
And how long does the festival run for?
So I mean, the main long weekend is Thursday till Sunday, but we do have sort of some lead-in events, and you know, we've got, say, the Scarborough Archaeological and Historical Society have got their festival event next Monday. So it's, you know, it's sort of a little bit more than 4 days, but 4 really, really intense morning to evening events for those 4 days.
And are the events well attended, generally speaking?
Yeah, I mean, we always have quite a number of sellout events where people have been, you know, trying to get tickets, but all the events are really well attended. And I mean, one of the things we try and do, we try and mix sort of really well-known authors with some events that, you know, maybe the author might not be as known, but you know, the actual subject is the thing. Like, we've got Gina Campbell talking about her father, Donald Campbell, and Bluebird. So although Gina Campbell might not be an household name, everyone knows the Bluebird, everyone knows that story. So it's mixing that, it's trying to get sort of themes that people are going to be really interested in. Obviously with that, it's been on TV. There's been a couple of TV programmes about it recently. So it's that sort of mix of sort of literary authors and authors of popular fiction with people who have really, really good stories to tell.
And what's actually happening today? So
today, well, we've just started our launch event, which is Alan J.W. Bell talking about Last of the Summer Wine, and quite shortly we'll have the Friends of Scarborough Library, their concert, which is a memorial concert for Vincent Billington, and so that's our next event. We've got David Hewson doing a literary lunch, and then we've got various sort of theatre events downstairs. We've got Rick Vaines doing creative writing workshop for children. And then we've got Leslie Pearce and Dorothy Coomson this afternoon, and they're going to be talking about sort of the emotional stories that they tell. I mean, the writing that they do, it has quite a strong emotional pull, both of them, in very different ways, but and it sort of speaks to, you know, the people who read their books, and so they're going to be developing that more and actually talking more about that. We've got David Lodge, wow, who's going to be on this afternoon. Obviously incredibly well-known, well-regarded author, you know, been writing for quite a while, and in different, he's one of these authors that sort of, his books are timeless. I've just reread one actually of his campus books, and they're sort of timeless, and yet they also very much pull on his experience. You can tell that he writes with that sort of experience, and he's just absorbing things and absorbing the cultural things around him and writing about it. And yet it's like and yet it doesn't date. He's very, very clever author, you know, very you know, and in his novels, he sort of pulls all different sort of genres into them, and he can be sort of quite sort of not self-mocking, but that sort of thing. You know, he's sort of quite humorous, so it's really good and really gripping. So that's excellent. And then we end the evening with. It's sort of a crime pathology event.
Oh, right.
And we've got the crime author, Mark Billingham, talking with Stuart Hamilton, who is actually a pathologist, and he's done like 3,000 autopsies, you know, so he's actually...
Sounds very gory, doesn't it?
Yeah. So it's actually his craft, and, you know, that's his side of what he does, and whether it might be just... I can't say a mundane autopsy, but you know, just a normal autopsy to something that, you know, might be an exceptional. He's done a range of cases, you know, incredible range of cases, and obviously authors like Mark Billingham, they draw on the experience of actual pathologists to make their stories, you know, speak to people, so there isn't people going, well, actually that never happened. So, you know, they do quite a lot of research and speak to people like Stuart, so they can add authenticity into their work. And so I think having them both on stage talking about, you know, Mark talking about his fiction and how he comes from it from like an entertainment and a suspense point of view, and then Stuart about, well, this is actually what happens. So I think it's going to be really entertaining, really quite a, you know, quite an exciting event, and something quite different. And I think, you know, things like TV programs like CSI, you know, people are interested in that. So it's although you might not read crime books, but you might watch things like Silent Witness, and say Stuart's, you know, being the advisor for programs like that. So it's not about just reaching people who are, you know, readers. It's about just broadening that up to make it, oh, well, I like watching, you know, Silent Witness. Actually, that'll be interesting. And then, hopefully, obviously, as from the library services point of view, just encourage people to, you know, maybe think, actually, I'll try that Mark Billingham book. I'll see if it's good, because you know, it sounded really interesting, and getting people to read and just and just not, you know, I mean, some people are really keen readers, but other people, oh no, I don't read. But then they'll say, oh, well, actually, you know, I do my DIY, and I do my cookery, and, you know, I look at books for that. Well, you do read then, you know, people read more than they think. You know, you don't have to be reading a David Lodge book to read. But so it's about reaching as many people as possible, being accessible to people.
Well, it sounds like you've got a very busy and interesting few days in front of you.
Anyway, we have, I mean, it is sort of constant, it is. But that's great, and it's really exciting. And it just means that people can come, and they'll go to one event, and they'll do something, and then they'll go to another. It's where they fit in time to have a cup of tea. That's the problem.
Do you think people travel afar to come here?
Yeah, I mean, we got because we obviously evaluation is a really important part for us, and you know, we need that sort of feedback, not only to make, you know, the festival improve and to be able to take on people's comments and make things, you know, better each year. But also it's a good way for us to say, look, we've reached this many people, this, you know, this is the impact we're having. And obviously we take sort of postcodes with this, and you'll be amazed where, you know, people come, you know, there's a group in Switzerland who come and have a school reunion, and they make sure it coincides with the festival. So you have to send them an email saying, festival's going to be on these dates, and then they'll make sure they come. But, you know, the people, I think, you know, at the start it was very Scarborough, but as it's gone on, it's got a really good mix. And I think in getting people to come and go, actually, Scarborough's a fantastic place. And look at what there is to offer. Right. I mean, it's a really... I always think it's slightly overlooked. I think, you know, Scarborough's an amazing town because it's got so many different aspects, and, you know, and it's got the theatre, and, you know, and it's got events like this and other cultural events. It's got a fantastic bay, fantastic scenery, not too bad a weather at the moment, touch wood. So, you know, I think it's great to get people coming in. Yeah.
Well, thank you very much anyway for sparing the time to talk to me.
All right, that's my pleasure.
I wish the event every success.
Oh, thank you very much. Thank you.